Congressman Peter Welch is a Democrat from Vermont and Chief Deputy Whip. He joins us live from Capitol Hill. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Just a few hours now until the President speaks. The White House has released a bullet point preview of his speech, and I believe it's going to include references to American manufacturing, clean energy, education, American values. His Republican critics are already calling it a campaign speech, and Speaker Boehner has described it as pathetic, which is remarkable for him, given that I don't believe he has X-ray vision. He's not able to see into the Oval Office where this speech is being written. But how do you see what the President's going to say?
Well, I think two things. Number one, Congress is broken. Whether you're a Republican, Democrat, you're a liberal or you're a conservative, this institution is not making decisions that need to be made. And my hope is the President will challenge Congress basically to get its act together and to be a functional Congress. Whatever the issue, unless we can find a way to work together and make progress, we're not going to. Second, the middle class is under assault. We have to revive an economic policy that's about rebuilding, revitalizing the middle class, and that's a lot of things. It's tax reform in the code that treats middle class people right. It's about promoting manufacturing and bringing money onshore rather than promoting it to go offshore. It's about having confidence as a nation to invest in research and development and in our infrastructure. So those are the areas, the middle class revival and institutional reform. Those are the two things America needs.
And yet it's absolutely incredible, sir, but less than 45 minutes ago, I was speaking to a fellow congressman of yours, Joe Walsh from Illinois, who suggested that he supports Newt Gingrich's idea of a zero level of taxation on capital gains, which would mean that Mitt Romney, who banked $42 million over the last 2 years, wouldn't have paid a single cent in tax. You talk about the President wanting to reform the tax code, but he's in gridlock here. It's impossible to do anything, isn't it?
Well, unfortunately, it may be impossible. I mean, the bottom line here is it is a political year. Mr. Boehner's expressing shock that there would be a political component in Washington to his speech. I'm shocked. But bottom line, those of us who've been elected have a job to do. And sure, we're going to get in the rough and tumble of campaigns, but as long as we're in office, our responsibility is to try to make progress. And the thing I hear from Vermonters and really people all around the country is, Peter, why don't you all get together and get something done? This political back and forth is not getting anything done for anybody. America's starting to decline. Our middle class is eroding. We can't let that continue to happen, and we can't use the excuse of an upcoming election be the basis to temporize in doing things that need to be done. So we've got to continue to make effort, even if it's an uphill climb.
So we know that the Congress is dysfunctional, but is it also disrespectful to the President? We're hearing of two congressmen who are not even going to bother to turn up for the President's State of the Union address.
Well, actually, that is disrespectful. You know, the same people that elected me or elected Joe Walsh, the people in his district elected the President. And there has to be some mutual respect here if we're going to make any progress whatsoever. And this escalation of rhetoric where essentially you try to channel anger and call anger a policy is a very destructive approach to solving political challenges that this country has.
Warren Buffett's secretary, who of course is famous for paying a higher tax rate than he does, will be a special guest tonight of the First Lady. That's clearly designed to make a point, isn't it, sir?
Well, it is designed to make a point, and, you know, we try to make points, they try to make points, but the bottom line is we've got to make progress, and that's the job that we have to do, and I hope that we don't write off a year just because we're in the middle of a presidential campaign.
Sir, every single one of us hopes that this is not going to involve Congress writing off another year. Vermont Congressman Peter Welch, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.